Do us a quick favor, guys. Hit the follow, subscribe button. Share this with someone who would benefit from it. And help us grow, as the more we grow, the better the episodes will get. Thanks, guys, for helping us. And let's get into the episode.
And he's here. He is here. Cristiano has entered the building. Welcome, wherever you are, to the Old Trafford Theatre.
Welcome back to this episode of SCULPTED podcast. Today, I just want to talk about starting early. Now, previously I've spoken about this topic with Val before, I believe, maybe even with Charlie. And the main thing about this topic is we all have the same 24 hours in the day. Yes, that's true. And I've said that. I've made an episode about that before. And whether you wake up at 4 a.m. and go to bed at 8 p.m. or you wake up at 7 p.m. and go to bed at, 6 a.m., you're still asleep and awake for the same time. It's what you do in that 24 hours that matters. But if you're someone who isn't too disciplined, and if you're someone who wants to keep that flywheel effect of discipline, then I would strongly suggest starting in the mornings. And there's multiple reasons for that. One, you start the flywheel effect early in the day, which means everything after that thing that you do in the morning, the most difficult thing in the morning, everything else is easy. Now, it doesn't mean tools down. It just means that everything underneath that in your priority list and in terms of difficulty and etc. just seems easier. Naturally, it just becomes easier because you've done the most difficult thing. Okay? Now, whatever that most difficult thing is, it's up to you. But make sure that that most difficult thing is, if you're struggling with this discipline or gross word, motivation, then just do the most difficult thing as soon as you wake up. Get out of bed, go. That's what I do when I do my training. Now, I hate evening training when I've got a team training session because, one, you get in really late, which then affects your next morning. And then you can't wake up early to then get the hardest thing done, okay? So that's why doing stuff in the evening sucks. Now, I understand if you don't have that privilege to wake up early because you've got a job at, let's say, 8 a.m. that you have to go to, you could wake up early, but if your job finishes at like 7 p.m., then you probably got to be in bed anyways to then wake up early in the morning. So it's up to you how you navigate that, but you could work around it. But I have to reiterate here, sleep is so important. You can't skip sleep. Like, if you need your 8 hours of sleep, honestly, you probably should get more. Like I get around 8 to 9 a night, and I think that I could get more, but I have a lot of difficulties. I wake up very early, and I have a lot of difficulties at the moment with sleep consistency because my circadian rhythm has been changing quite drastically in terms of doing a training session in the evening on trial or doing an early morning session. So my circadian rhythm is changing drastically, unfortunately, at the moment. But when I get that in rhythm, then I'll be able to get, my 9 to 10 hours each night, which I find that works best for me. Now, starting early, doing the hard thing first, it's going to just set your day up. Now, you'll just find your endorphins are being released. There's natural hormones that encourage you to get going and start conquering the day. That's legitimately, you will feel it. If you do this, you will feel it. You will start to feel a sense of accomplishment. There will be so many things. And you're on that flywheel for the day. Every single day, you start fresh to a degree. Okay? So why not kick that day off with a great start? Do the thing that you don't want to do. Take pride in doing the difficult stuff, okay? And do that first. There's a lot of power in that. The other reason why I like to do things in the morning is the ego part. Now, when I say ego, it's not essentially, the rawest, it's not the most known description of ego. When I talk about ego, I'm talking about you truly knowing who you are. Now, it's not the best usage of word, but first thing that came to my mind, so I said it. When I say this, what I mean by this is if you identify yourself, now I shouldn't have said identify, if you believe yourself to be someone who is truly dedicated, a brilliant way to affirm that belief is one, by doing hard things first, and then two, just starting earlier, because you know that everyone else, because okay, let's be straight here, going to bed, actually just living on a different time schedule to everyone else is difficult, because you have to either go to bed much later than everyone, or you go to bed much earlier than everyone. Both are difficult. I don't like living a normal time schedule, like you go to bed at 9 p.m, wake up at 7. I think that's what most people would kind of do. I don't like that. I always have to live on the extremes, because I have to know either I'm staying up after everyone or I'm going to bed before everyone. That's dedication, that's sacrifice, and that's where you get a heightened sense of self through action and alignment when you do these things. If you identify yourself, I'm going to stop using identify. If you believe yourself to be someone who is dedicated, professional, and hardworking, just as I do. So if you do believe that you are those things, then you better take actionable steps to reinforce them, because then are you really those things if you don't do those things, right? If you believe you are them, but you don't take actionable steps to be them, then I would question if you are them. So take these easy sacrifices, take these easy small steps to affirm who you are. Simple, okay? So that's why I like starting in the morning and doing the hard things. Now, you can differ. For example, Val, he likes to go to bed late and wake up late. Okay, it works. Maybe he feels that same sense of endorphins of which I feel in the morning. I don't know. But the other thing that I do want to also reiterate is we do have the same 24 hours. So if you do wake up at 7 a.m. and you do the hard things first, then you probably will feel that same level of accomplishment with getting the hard things done first. But maybe you don't feel that level of I'm doing the thing that others don't want to do, which is wake up early. That's where I think working off the extremes, whether it's really late or really early, I think that working off the extremes gives you another boost of, one, self of self, where you're reaffirming who you are, and then also just discipline. It's discipline, okay? Doing those difficult things will give you a sense that you're doing the things that others don't want to do, which is sacrifice. So I think that's a pretty simple way of saying it. I don't want to go into too much more detail, because honestly, I think you got to just start doing. You just got to start doing. So, as I said, I won't go into too much more detail about it, but I think I covered quite a base level understanding of why mornings work, why you see, the grind set, why it's always in the morning. Now, don't get me wrong, the grind set's cool. I can't say it's bad, but if you know me well, I'm a sculptor, okay? I'm an architect. So the grind set's cool, but it's not good. It's not great, actually. It's good, but it's not great. Okay? So there are things from the grind set that I will do in the sculpting as I sculpt, but there's a succinct difference. It's all about longevity, because the grind set is short term. There's a reason why there's always these 75 hard. There's these, 30-day challenges. There's a reason why there's a monthly challenge. That's why. Okay? Because it's a grind set. It's not focusing on longevity like I do. Okay? Why live 30 days of your best life when you can live your whole life like that? Why? Why only 30 days? Why not the whole year? Why not your whole 5 years? Why not your whole life? Okay? Why not? Why only do it for 5 days? Why only do it for 75 days? Why only do it for 35 days? Whatever it is, you can do it more. The grind is only enabling you to do it on those X amount of days. It's designed, right? Because typically what happens is let's say if you're on a new diet, you probably stuff up purposely the day before because you're going on a new diet. And then after, as soon as you finish that diet, you probably lose all your progress. So what was the point of that? Okay, you've grinded, but for what? You got nowhere. You're in the same position, and that sometimes, but often, people actually end up in a worse position. But where's the longevity? You didn't work your way up. You didn't build the skills that you needed to build to stay there. Okay, you yo-yo. Now, where's the benefit in that? Anyways, guys, I kind of went on a little bit too much there. Although I definitely did address some good problems and some good points. But I hope you liked that one, and I'll catch you tomorrow.